We're
Hello,
live.
hello, hello, everyone. How's it going?
Hi, friends.
Good morning, or good
Good
afternoon,
morning,
or
good
good evening.
afternoon, good evening,
All of
good
those
night.
terms. So, how is everyone doing? This is going to be a slightly less showy weekly live than usual. There will not be pictures this time around because we didn't set up or adjust pictures. I'm going to blame Devin while not
It's
acknowledging
me.
that I
It's me.
also did not grab pictures for the games we're talking about either. So it is partially my fault. But with that said, everyone, how is it going? What's going on? How's your morning going? And what's the best game you've played this week? Let's start with you guys. What's the best game you played?
Ooh,
No, you guys are actually part of the show. We can't do that.
question.
We can't do that. Well, in chat, what's the best game you played this week?
I'm like, what did I even play this week?
Oh, are you kidding me? I could tell you like 5 games you played this week.
Really?
Let's go through it. Let's see what Meg plays this week. Meg has played this week. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Meg, you've played Castle Burgundy, Code Names 5 times last
Oh
night.
yeah, oh yeah. I played Codenames Live last night. We lost terribly.
Kingdom
What?
Builder.
Meg? What
Devin.
the crap? You chose him?
So we played against Bree and Jonathan. Do you remember Bree Didanan and Jonathan Boyle?
I do remember them. Yes, yes.
We played against them, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, they're so awesome! I'm so excited!" And Alex was like, "Who are they?" And I was like, "We've played against them." And he was like, "I haven't." And I was like,
I
"That
have
makes
not.
sense."
Yeah,
So
I
I
did
was
not.
saying next time, I think the two of you should try to take on Bree and Jonathan to finally maybe beat them.
That's an excellent
Gotcha.
opinion piece. We should do that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
that.
gonna submit. I'm gonna
It's an
submit the
excellent
request.
opinion piece.
I had to like think through how I was handling that, and I didn't have a line in time, so I was like, "That's an excellent opinion piece. We're gonna move on with this." But anyways, yeah. So we played a bunch of games this week. I played a bunch of games. I already know some of the games Mike plays. Devin, what have you played?
Last night was the first night in 6 weeks that the Camp Co-op crew and I were able to get together to play Gloomhaven. So we played Gloomhaven together again last night, which was a lot of fun. And then I got to play. Since last week, I got to teach Avery Marvel Dice Throne, which was fun. So he knows how to play that now. So me and him can play that. I learned Earth, which I enjoyed. I enjoyed Earth.
How much did you enjoy it?
I like it, but I probably don't feel the need to own it, and it's not the type of game that I would request. And I can, like, in terms of graphic design, in terms of gameplay, like simultaneous play with players and stuff, I think there are a lot of things in Earth that are incredibly smooth, but it's just not my type of game. There's practically no interaction. It's kind of a similar. I have a similar response to it that I do with like Wingspan or Terraforming Mars, where it's like an engine building game there where really the main part of interaction with players is shared or competitive goals that you're going after. And there is a little bit of overlap in terms of what you're doing, but I'd probably rather play Terraforming Mars. I think Earth is a beautiful game to look at, but
I
it
love that
doesn't.
you said that. You'd rather play Terraforming Mars. So sexy.
I would, but because I thematically there's a story to what I'm doing in Terraforming Mars. Like I have a purpose. Like I'm trying to transform a planet. There is like I'm a corporation. I have a goal. In Earth, I'm just a bunch of like
I'm with you.
I'm moss and trees and visual things that are just connected and do things together. But I don't like. It doesn't have like a thematic anchor for me to care about what I'm doing, and I think it's very smart and clever. It's not my style.
Yeah, Earth and Wingspan both fall into very similar territories for me, where it's very hard for me to talk about them because I both recognize how good they are, enjoy them, but I also don't like them as much as others. And so I'm in this weird spot where I'm like, they're great games, but I'm like against the crowd. I'm against like, because Earth, people are loving Earth. And I'm like, it's good. I enjoyed it. I don't need to own it. Like, I really did enjoy it. It was fun. It had good tableau building. But I'm going to pick other tableau building games over it any day of the week. And a big thing for me with both Earth and with Wingspan, and I've complained about this in a video on Wingspan, and I've gotten complaints from people who are like, you don't want the yellow warbled peckler or whatever it is. And I'm like, I don't know what that is at all. But my complaint is that in both those systems, I kind of work with the cards I have, but I never feel a connection to the cards I have. You could like grab one of the cards. If I have a hand of 5 cards in Earth or in Wingspan, you could grab a card away from me, and I would not lose a second of sleep. I wouldn't be like, oh no, I need that card. I wouldn't care. I would just work with the other cards. Like the idea
I would
of like,
say that Wingspan probably even has more of a connection to me than Earth, because at least they're like animals or bird. Like there's like I have some interest in the cards. Like Earth is really more of just like you could technically have the game of Earth and it doesn't even need the art.
But I'm not even talking thematically. I'm talking even mechanically. I just don't care.
Sure.
Versus in let's say Everdell or Terraforming Mars, you take a card from my hand and I want to murder you because I was relying on that card. So, yeah, and I don't have a firm answer there, but I'm not emotionally connected while recognizing they're both good games. But that's
sure. I think you and I are probably on the same page.
Yeah, and Meg, you haven't played Earth, right?
No.
Do you want to play
It's on BGA now, right?
I want to.
I would only play it on BGA live. I would not play it turn-based.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's simultaneous play in terms of player action versus other player actions.
But that means on BGA, that's usually the worst mechanic, because every turn is like 5 steps to get through a single turn. Because you have to respond, you have to respond, you have to respond, now you have to respond.
Yeah.
It was playing it on BGA almost made me hate the game, which was a problem. Anyways, with that said, let's go ahead and jump into the actual weekly live. This has been a fascinating style of conversation. There's been a lot of people in chat. Let's talk about chat. Let's see what's going on. What have people played? Joshua Burke. Alex, you still involved in Quack & Co? No, I haven't been doing Quack & Co for I want to say since November of last year. I stopped doing it a long time ago. We have 5 Minute Dungeon is a game that Rodfa's played. We have Jason Miller with Mansions of Madness. Ooh. You want to know why I chose the thumbnail I did for this video? The conversation we're going to have later in the video today is about the games you got rid of because other people won't play it with you. And I wanted a picture of the 3 of us, and I thought that poor Meg, Mansions of Madness, she's going to have to play that one solo because neither Devin and I will play it with her. That's why I chose that particular thumbnail.
I do love that one time when I think Matt, we were playing Mansions, and then she was like, all right, I think we're getting close to finishing, and she went to go re-up and get a new drink. And she walked into the other part of the basement, and I just looked at Alex. And I was like,
I'm done.
"Dear God, stop the pain, man, please."
See, I'm seeing 925 gamers in the chat playing Master of the Universe, and that's interesting on 2 counts. Number 1 is Master of the Universe is amazing. I'm seeing people play it and enjoy it, and I'm loving that they are because it's so good. And number 2 is I happen to have just watched a video on 925 gamers this morning, and I've never watched anything on your channel until now, but I was looking for other reviews of Beast. Because I want to see what other people's opinions of Beast are, and they have an opinion piece on it. They liked it overall. And so I happened to be watching a review of Beast on 925 Gamers. But anyways.
Those deluxe components are nice.
Yeah, it is, very much so. Beast is fantastic. I want to play Beast again. And I have some, whatever, we're going to talk about it later. Anyways, past that, Paperback Adventures, we got some of that, some Frosthaven, Keep the Heroes Out. We got a whole bunch of things, overall as far as people playing a lot of fun games in the chat. But let's start off. I think this week I'll go ahead and, you know what, maybe I should. You know what, no, Devin, I'm going to have you go first just so I can actually pull up pictures of the games and insist that I do that because I'm that person.
You don't tell me what to do.
No, go ahead, do it. I'm going to pull up pictures of my games. We're going to have Devin talk about his game, and then I'm going to go ahead and live stream, figure out how to show the games on the channel because I want to show my game today.
Okay.
What's your game, Devin?
My game of the week is Passengers.
Passengers. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
You can talk about
this
it too
is a game that I actually did a unpaid preview on your channel, Alex. But Allison and Daniel from Play the Game HQ, they live in Little Rock with me, and so we've a couple times over the last few weeks had them come over. They brought their two boys, and then their little very, very small girl, Emma Grace, little baby, and nice black screen.
I got it. It takes a second because I didn't set up in advance.
And so I really enjoy how this was set up. This was very, very accessible to all 3 of our boys who were playing. We had a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 13-year-old, and they all had a fun time with it. They enjoyed it, and it's one of those games where it's social deduction, but it also, you don't have to be lying the whole time. You can lie a little bit. You can also be just completely honest. You can come out and be transparent if you are a demon smuggler. There's spirit guides and demon smugglers, and because of the way that they have like the active boat that you're playing on and trying to put passengers on, and then they have the previously voted on boats, and the way that those score spatially, which is like on the active boat for the passengers and on adjacency across all boats for the demons. There's a lot of ways to play, and it is very easy to get across the main thrust of the game. It's easy to teach. It was easy to play, and kind of players from all different levels of depth or strategic preference all had a good time with it. My wife enjoyed it. She wasn't necessarily expecting to, because they're not normally her type of game for social deduction games. She's just had bad experience with aggressive players, and this is the type of game where you can be a quieter person and still like do quite well. And so I think it does a good job of mitigating the weaknesses of the genre. And it's also, I think, just a very charming and like beautiful game that Yoast I thought did a very good job with. So
Yeah, I had a chance to play this a long time ago, like a year plus ago. I thought the theme was very charming. It strongly gives you the Resistance and One Night Ultimate kind of vibes, with a different approach to the system. Like and the art is just very, very, very charming in what it does. So I think if you like the genre, it's definitely one worth paying attention to. If you don't like the genre, I don't see this changing anyone's minds.
gotcha.
Yep. Meg, do you want to go next, or should I?
Either way.
So I'll go ahead and jump into Raising Robots, which is why I want to pull the art up. Although I'm disappointed because unfortunately I pulled this up to specifically find the art, and the art here, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a little dash over there as I talk for a second. Show and tell.
Show and tell.
Empty chair.
Show and tell.
Okay, we got Raising Robots over here, and Raising Robots over here is, first of all, I had a chance to play this. Speaking of games that the art really pulls you in, I like Raising Robots, I do, but the gameplay is not what's really charming the most. The gameplay is good. I think it's a good game. I enjoy it. Speaking of the complaint we had earlier about like Wingspan and Earth and cards, I would say my biggest complaint about Raising Robots is probably that same complaint, where in terms of the card art and personality, that I'm 100% there for. But the card mechanics, I would say that kind of a similar idea. For the most part, I can work with what cards on my hand. There's a lot of cards that you're trying to build out into your tableau. So it's got that tableau thingy, very different vibe than Earth and all those games, but it's all about building out a tableau. You're putting down different rows of robots as you choose different actions in the game, and there's a fun little bidding system going on as far as how you try to choose phases, similar to like Race for the Galaxy or Ares Expedition. You're choosing phases of what's going to operate, and then other players choosing phases might allow you to do phases too. So a lot of like fun little interplay there. But for me, the highlight, again, all the game, it's good. I like it. I plan on getting this one. But to me, the highlight is the personality on these robots. I cannot remember the last time I've been this charmed by a game. I'm literally going to go to a random robot. I don't even know which one this is.
Oh,
that's just
so cute.
I don't know how well it's focusing there.
It.
But
I can't see his name, but his picture is good.
His name is Watson. Okay.
You should, Alex, you should switch to us being bigger again.
Yes, that's
to
fair.
show them.
That's fair. Let's go back to bigger. So the whole reason I did that thingy is mute. We're going to shuffle up the decks to show you another random robot because I don't really care. Okay. What do we have now?
Oh.
Analog. Look at that guy. Little robots.
So cool.
We're going to go to another one.
Smile.
Those are adorable.
They are.
Freestyle. Okay,
I
look
love
at that guy.
the look of those cards.
We're going to go to another one. Just again, these are just random. I'm just pulling out any one. I'm not even trying to find my favorites.
That one's Brave Little Toaster style.
That one's like
Picasso.
the
He's
Pixar,
drawing.
the
His name's
Pixar
Picasso.
lamp.
Yeah, now I'm going to find my favorite over here because one of my favorites is actually my son's favorite, but like I love it. We're going to go through a few hundred cards with amazing cute art that if you've ever played Best Trios Ever, which I think the game Best Trios Ever is only okay, not amazing, but Best Trios Ever kind of has that similar thing where you're looking through every single picture and every single art, and this has a very similar vibe to it. I'm just being pulled in completely. Now this one's name is Firewall, which makes sense for a robot. And he's
that makes sense.
No,
look at that guy.
That's like Wally, but like a fire.
For the record, that's like
Ralphie's favorite.
That's Ralphie's favorite, but it's one of mine.
That makes sense.
That's like Wally is listed for like 17 different robots. We kept on having that as we played. We kept on saying that. Now I'm going to show you one more. This one's more about the name. Okay, more about the name.
.com. That's cute.
Why is this name .com?
Huh?
Why is this name's .com?
because of the bubble.
Because
Like,
it's blowing bubbles. The .com was a bubble, so the bubble robot is
okay,
.com. I
okay,
thought that was so clever.
Okay, I got it right.
Bound Games gives me Mindbug art vibes. I agree with you, but cuter. Like, I like Mindbug art. This to me is like next level stuff. So like, I'm adoring the game. I think the game itself is very good, but I think that kind of like Dice Throne, where the production and art elevate the game to the next level. To me, this is a good game that I don't want to get rid of because I'm so pulled in by the charm of everything going on here. But yeah, mechanically, if I was just looking at, just the pure mechanics, I'd be like, this is a good game. To me, it's probably a drop above Earth, but lower than Terraforming Mars. So it's still, if this was like Plants, I'd probably get rid of it. I'd probably say it's good, but I still prefer Terraforming Mars. But I do
think, I feel like what you're saying, I saw a post on Facebook yesterday or the day before from Imagine All the Meeple, which is, his name's Todd, and he is a photographer. He's done like the Victory Point Labs YouTube series of like photographers that are going over stuff, and he said something where he's like, I mean it makes sense because he's a visual artist and he's a photographer, and he's like, I am a visual first board gamer, and he's like, if it doesn't grasp me, I'm not even going to get beyond that. And I do think that there is a very erroneous thought process from like the design side of stuff, where it's like, if you create an amazing game, it doesn't matter if the art isn't on the same level. It's like, it matters. It matters so much how much you're captured by the visual appeal of a game. Like, it really does. It can make it, like you said, you don't feel the need to own Earth, and you would probably feel the same about Raising Robots if it wasn't so like inviting and so.
I think the gameplay is a drop better. I think it's like, if you're giving like 0.1s, which I don't do, like Earth is a 4 and Raising Robots like a 4.1, 4.2, but I don't do that scale. It's not even a 4.5 though. It's definitely not a 4.5 for me. But again, it's not, that difference wouldn't be enough to keep it. The art is just, it pulls me in. Fun fact, I didn't even realize this until right now. The cover art is one of my favorite robots. That's the fire robot. I didn't realize. It's a different angle. Yeah. But anyways, that's my game. I'm charmed by this. This is gonna be on Kickstarter in like, I want to say early May, I think. I'll obviously have preview coverage up, but you already know my opinion now, so there's that.
I can't see it on the visual anymore, but that's Navu Games, and that's the people who did Brandon Sanderson's The Reckoners, right?
That is indeed those people. Yep.
Gotcha.
Oh wait, they do have art here. They do have art. Oh, these are some of the inventors. Where's this? I missed this. So you also have inventor cards.
I love that.
They're all kids.
Yeah, but it's like Kid Stephen Hawking.
Oh yes, it is.
Kid Marie Curie.
Yes.
Marie Curie.
Madame Marie Curie. Yep.
Madame Curie, and that's Kid Einstein.
And then the nurse, the famous nurse. What's her name? I remember her. The I can't remember what her name is.
I can't remember either.
It's like something very like noble. The name I can't remember.
Oh, and then the one on the far
Nightingale. Thank you,
right.
Meg.
Yeah.
The one on the far right there was the one that learned about like calming techniques with for autism, because like the pressure of like cows going through stuff and stuff like that. Florence Nightingale.
That's the one. Yeah.
Is the one. The one on the right, I can't remember her name, but she's like, she really developed a lot of like.
So one of the things that we wanted to give feedback on, Ricky wanted to give feedback to the creators, because they have all these cute things, and we could tell who most of them were, but not everyone. And we're like, they should have a little bio of who this little kid is based on, like a little like fun little thing. But yeah,
that would be cool. I haven't seen any of. I adore this from what you presented.
Yeah, it's just cute. It's charming. Look at these robots. It's so charming. Okay, Meg, before I just continue going, what's your game?
Temple Granger. I think that is the name that I'm thinking of from Lady Shay. I believe that sounds familiar.
Oh, Meg, I've been on. Meg, don't tell anyone. I've been on Top Chat the whole time.
Yep. Temple Grandin. Yeah.
Are you going to the picture of it?
Yeah, well, I am.
Okay. My game is The Emerald Flame. Guys,
I love puzzles.
This is a game that I've already talked about on this channel in a different way. This was on one of my like hyped to get to see for don't show component pictures though, Alex.
For spoilers or?
Yeah, because we're doing show and tell. I brought mine.
I didn't realize.
So this was a game that I talked about during the PAX Unplugged board games that we were excited about to see, and I was very excited to see this one because I was skeptical. For $75 for 3 different puzzles, is it worth it for what you get? And now I can show you guys. I'm not going to show you guys anything spoilery, so please don't worry. Alex, you can probably go back to the us camera now. But this little package was a package full of delightful fun and excitement that makes you feel like a genius when you're done. And Alex and I got to play it on
That was a
plane.
good rhyme.
I didn't even realize.
I didn't realize.
She said, "This is a package full of fun that makes you so excited once you're done."
So you get 3 packages like this, and they're marked so that you know, like, just to be thematic, it's January. I don't know if I'm in frame, but it's January, and then the next one's February, and then March. So instead of, like, open envelope 1, it's like, oh, we received this one first. And I'm going to try to not do anything spoilery for you guys, but you get a letter which explains what you're doing and why, and it's pretty cool that there's, like, handwriting on the back where they did, like, a PS to you. And then basically you're trying to figure out different things to accomplish for what they need to get you to the next spot. So, Alex, do you remember? I think we're like spies, maybe? We work for like a historical society?
So, no. So, the Historical Society is basically trying to solve something. Again, I'm going to try to be very vague because I don't want to do any spoilers.
Yeah.
So, everything I say is completely spoiler-free in terms of anything more than high level. But there's a Historical Society trying to solve a problem, and it seems that they're like, just need more help with the problem. So, they kind of outsourced it to us experts to help and present the solutions to the problems. There might have even been flavor text as to why they're short-staffed. I can't remember, but ultimately they are directly communicating with us. But and Brandon saying how many people own this game, writing personal notes is someone's full-time job. I'm not certain if it's a personal note or if it's one of those looks like handwriting fonts.
I think it is printed.
Yeah, and so
I do think it's printed. I think just to be cute, it was handwritten.
The presentation was incredible though, and so like I'll let you go back. You do your thing. I was just answering.
So they explain to you, they're like, hey, we found these writings like in some of the research. We also have these artifacts that were with it, and here's some like other things to help you. So this one is a very general thing, but it was like a map, and they're like, here's a local map of our town. This is just helpful. Here you go. Whereas there are other things, like this letter. I'm showing them far away so you don't see too much. But this letter, where this had like actual things to figure out, and that was with the stuff that we found. But just to show how beautiful it is, there's nothing spoilery at all on this page. This is a puzzle that you end up doing, but just look at how beautiful these are. It's on like this really nice parchment paper, and the art of all of these things that are created is just so nice. This one I'll show you from far away, but it's a bunch of crystals. But I won't show you up close.
You know what I'm realizing this is that someone in the community realized that they would have a successful business model once they came to the discovery that board gamers like the idea of geocaching. They just don't want to leave their house and go outside. Yeah. So they're just mailing geocache puzzles. They're like, oh, you don't want to go find the box in the woods? We'll bring the box in the woods to you.
Basically, yes. And it's not that I don't like going outside, it's just that if I walk outside, instantly my skin just melts.
These glass plates came with it that help you end up doing stuff. I don't think this is too spoilery, there's an amulet that came with it that does something very cool. And there's this, which you get to keep, and it's a pocket companion of medieval plants. And it's a full little book of, like, plants and, like, I don't know, pointing at birds.
That's really useful.
But you can just have this.
Dude, Meg, if you get into, like, an Outlander situation where the stones take you back, like, 100 years, if you have that book with you, you could immediately be of use.
And this map, obviously, it's an accurate map that I can bring with me. But the other thing that I have in here, that was everything that I have in the envelopes that I'll show you guys. But something else just to see how much fun we had. Like, here are our notes for figuring out some of the stuff. Just showing you it from, like, very far away.
For the record, nobody go back and play this back and highlight, because there are solutions here. You will have no idea what's going on as long as we're going right past this. But
if you purchase Emerald Flame and then go back and look at someone else's solutions, like, I don't know if that's what brings you happiness. I say do it.
I'm saying on the off chance you want to see it in more detail so that you can know if you're purchasing it, I'm giving people the heads up. Do not try to find these in more detail. Meg's being brief for a reason.
Yes. I would say look at their website. There were some pictures there in the box that are displayed. Look at how they advertise stuff. But here's more of like our notes of how we figured things out. It was very fun. I had a wonderful time. I felt super, super smart every time we got further and further. And it took us overall one plane ride. So I think that one of the things I brought up before I got it was, is it worth the price? For 3
100%
adventures,
yes.
for how detailed they are, how good the puzzles are, and how long they are. Plus, there's a refill kit, so I could reset it and give it to a friend for them to do all of the puzzles.
There's a
I
Gloomhaven
think it's
sticker
absolutely
set,
worth
so
it.
you can reset it.
You can reset
I think
it.
that's 100% worth it on 2 accounts. The first is that without question it is the best unlock game I have played. Not even like it's close. It's without question it is the best unlock game I've played. And I mean that in 2 counts. One is the variety of puzzles and presentations as opposed to the standard format you often get in an Exeter unlock. And 2 is from the fact that this one, more so than any puzzle I've played, felt challenging enough that nothing was easy, but accessible enough that we never had to turn to hints. It was enough chalking and fusing. Like, every time I play an unlock game, there's always that one puzzle that was too easy. Like 3 puzzles that were just ridiculously easy, and then 4 puzzles that I couldn't get past and had to figure out whatever. This
Have you played Time Stories?
I hate Time Stories. Yeah.
Do you hate Time Stories absolutely generally, or just everything after the very first one?
I only played the first one. That was enough for me.
Oh, okay. Okay, it was enough. Okay, never mind.
But yeah,
on.
so it was the difficulty scaling of the puzzles felt excellent. Everything felt attainable but challenging. Like there were multiple times that we were stumped, but then you worked together and figured it out. And so
And
solid
I
in
would
that
say
count.
too, as 2 people with one puzzle, we were both doing separate stuff where it's not one where something needs to lead into the next one. You can be doing any puzzle at any time. So we were both kind of doing our own puzzles and then collaborating when we needed help, but we were able to focus on our own stuff. So I think sharing worked really well too.
Yeah. And then the second aspect is to go to the cost, because this is not going to be cheap. It's going to be like $70, $80, something like that. And people are like, you're like, wow, $75 versus, $15 for an unlock game. Sure, but an unlock game is an hour's worth of content. This puzzle is around 9 hours worth of content. So when you figure out the math on that, it works out to cheaper than an unlock game in terms of hours spent puzzling out anyways. So
also cheaper than an escape room.
Well, that's for sure.
And because it's for board gamers, you don't have to leave your house.
I never want to leave my house ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I
yeah, it was
recommend
good.
it. I really loved it.
Give up on Emerald Flame? What's happening here? Oh,
he was
crap.
saying that Jesse gave up on it.
It is possibly the perfect level of difficulty. It depends on what you're looking for in a challenge.
Sure.
But, anyways, with that, I think those are our 3 games. Oh, well, you come back. You can finish it off.
What?
No, you're saying I took off like my opinion of the game because we played together. But if you want to go back to wrapping up your game,
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a really great time. I'm excited to play the second adventure. The thing that kind of stinks is that Alex and I played the first one together, so we agreed to play them together. So now I have to wait until Gamma.
or other things.
Or other things.
Yeah.
Oh, Devin played that.
Like,
No, we don't
basically
like
the same.
looping Devin to anything, do we?
Apparently not. Apparently not.
Devin, we
It's
need to play
okay.
Clank Legacy together. All 3 of us.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a false invitation, and I don't want to get
I
excited.
don't want to accidentally say something about this month.
No, I didn't say anything. I said other things. We're moving on. Anyways, from there, the Potato Stew Y Gamma is just because Meg,
all
myself,
going
and
to it.
Devin, we all live in different states. So we like these whole like computer screens. That's how we can actually like not leave our house while pretending to be social, like good board gamers. And
But
so
Emerald Flame is at my house, so I could do the February package like at any time I want.
the Frosthaven campaign we're in the middle of is at my house, Meg.
Oh, shots fired.
I have one
back.
at home too.
Overwhelming shot. Yeah, but you don't want to start it again.
Forget that. She would still murder me. She's just playing it cool. She would murder me. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, with that, we're going to go ahead and move on to our regularly sponsored game show. And by regularly sponsored game show, I mean Devin. Did you come bearing gifts?
I came bearing gifts. So, last week, Alex started us off on the idea of trying to communicate what a game was in a poor way that doesn't effectively tell you what you're doing in the game, and that is a bad description. And so I have come up with 30 games in 3 rounds, each round having a different style or category of approach to how poorly it is phrased. And we're going to go and see who wins. It's just 1 point per word, and we can either keep score. We do have the option, because we're not doing pictures or something like that. We do have the option of, if we want to rope in the audience to see if they can collectively have a score that is versus you two, or if you just want to do two and not look at that.
I like the idea of that. Keep in mind they are on like a 2-second delay, so we have an edge in that sense.
Sure, but they have the edge of having
multiple
94 people watching.
That's fair. That's fair. I give it to you. I'm fine with that. It does mean that I will have to move something to cover chat, which is not a problem. Done. Chat is now covered. If you say something mean about me, I won't even know. What?
Who knows? Who says they're right?
It's still. I generally don't like looking at chat when you're doing
I try to never look at chat regardless. Okay.
What are the rules? Are we saying things as soon as we go, like as soon as we want?
So it's regular buzz rules as soon as you figure it out, and then hey, here's what we'll do. We'll do it the regular way, and then I'll just keep track of chat score as well.
So regular way means, can we keep guessing, or are you limited to buzz one guess?
I think if somebody else, let's do it to where
you know the questions, so different formats work better different times.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think in this, if you buzz, you get one option, and then the other person can, and then if they don't buzz by the time you buzz again, you can keep going. But I think alternating makes sense.
So you can buzz, and if they don't buzz before you buzz again,
we'll just do one chance
buzz.
Each, and then after you guys have both gone, you guys can go again.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
I feel like I'm making too many rules.
I'm just saying, you literally said you can buzz, and then if they don't buzz before you buzz again, I'm like, so I can keep buzzing.
Buzz Everdale, Buzz Parks, Buzz Everdale, Buzz Parks, Buzz Everdale.
I'm already sad. I don't see chat.
Okay,
What's chat saying?
Right. We're just gonna do the regular.
Hey, buzz.
We're gonna do the regular thing where you can buzz and then you answer and then the other person has a chance. That's what we determined.
Sounds
I think
good.
At the end of all of this,
Cool,
dear
cool.
God. Okay, so round 1, 10 games are in here. This one is called Dumb Descriptions. Number 1, COVID-19, but 12 years early.
Buzz?
Meg.
Pandemic?
Yes, ma'am. Pandemic was published in
When you-
2008.
I was like, it's too quick.
When you said whatever you said, Devin, what is this category called?
Dumb
It's
dumb
called
descriptions.
Dumb Descriptions.
I was like, what game is dumb descriptions? I started going through, I was like, telestrations? I'm not sure.
No, that is just the category title.
The way it's described, yeah.
Okay,
Point back.
everybody, a lot of them got pandemic, so that's great. All right, number 2. Chat, keep score for me. Meg's got 1. Keep score for me. Number 2. Peaky Blinders, if the showrunner was an economist.
Buzz?
Meg?
Brass Birmingham?
Meg's got it.
I always do well in the beginning. Just wait. Just wait.
Good job, Meg. That was good. All right. Number 3. 10 hours you can't get back.
Buzz,
Buzz?
Mansions of Madness.
You didn't even let me decide who said Buzz first. You just wanted to get it out. Meg.
Twilight Imperium?
It is Twilight Imperium. That was such a good answer, though. Oh my goodness. That was such a good answer. Oh my goodness.
And sorry, I was saying the thingy. I got too excited.
No, you're so... I would have done the same thing. I would have been excited about the joke. Number 4. The Rusviettes win the most.
Buzz.
Alex?
Twilight Struggle.
False. Meg?
Buzz?
Yes.
Sight?
Yep. Rusviettes is the faction name. So, all right. Number 5. The only way you'll have berries, grains, fish, mice, and grubs as your meal options.
Buzz.
Alex?
Wingspan.
Correct.
As I'm trying to remember, I was like, I think they're all there. I'm on the board!
Woohoo!
Chat's doing pretty good on all these as well. All right, number 6. Second rate Indiana Jones.
Buzz.
Meg.
Lost Ruins of Arnak.
Yes, indeed. Number 7, Elephant Graveyard. This one's more abstract, but
Buzz.
Alex?
Paleo?
Nope. This one's really abstract.
I don't know.
I just thought this one was funny.
How's
It's probably
chat
the
doing?
hardest.
If chat
It's probably
got it,
the
that's the
hardest
point.
one. Chat doesn't have it.
So
Endless Winter?
we could go. Buzz, Endless Winter.
False.
No, I would not allow that.
No, yeah. I thought it was funny. So, somebody's
Buzz,
got
what is Endless Winter?
it. False.
That was funny. That was funny.
So,
You said
I'll
chat
just
got
call
it.
it. I'll say chat got it.
If we don't get it, chat gets it.
Too many bones.
Too many bones. Oh, that is abstract.
All right. Number 8. Anger management for Nordic people.
Buzz?
Meg.
Blood Rage?
Yes, ma'am.
You're killing it. I got nothing.
Number 9. Number 9. Better with bug buttons.
Buzz.
Buzz.
Coconut.
Alex. Yep. I almost was gonna just do better with bugs, but I thought you guys would do way too. I was
There's
like, I
a
need
lot
to
more.
say buttons. Okay, and then number 10 of the first round, Tesla, the board game.
Buzz.
Yep.
Kanban.
Yep. Kanban EV. Kanban or Kanban EV. Yep.
Yeah.
I think Alex, you got
3-1-6.
3-1-6.
Mm.
Meg's got a powerful lead. Let's hope round 2 is
Round 2, stupid synonyms. Keep in mind, these are almost all of them word for word stupid synonyms.
Oh my
And
gosh.
probably the hardest one coming up first. Boat star.
Does chat get it?
Chat's already got
The
it.
chat. It's chat's point, but it's a chat's point no matter what happens at this point.
Arc
boat?
Nova.
I was like, Ship Son. Ship Son. What game is Ship Son?
Dude, I gave that to a successful in the Gloomhaven, and they didn't get it, but chat obliterated that. They just
That's
like
beautiful.
crazy.
7
Good for
of
them.
got it.
Good for them. They got the point.
That makes me feel better about it. So 5-3-2.
Yep.
Or 6-3-2.
6-3-2.
6-3-2.
I hope chat's keeping track. Yeah.
6-3-2. Yeah.
Well, did chat
All
get
right.
the other one?
Chat got
Chat.
too many bones.
They did.
Yeah.
Chat got too many bones.
Cool, cool, cool.
All right, number 2. Sun conflict uprising.
Buzz.
Alex?
Star Wars Rebellion.
Yep.
Okay.
I am not for this game.
This is like I'm like working through Sun conflict, Star Wars. Okay, I got this.
You guys okay.
Holy shit.
All right.
Don't worry, Meg.
Number
I'm pretty sure
3.
chat's gonna catch up more than I will.
Number 3. Fight about jewelry.
Buzz.
Alex.
War of the Ring.
Yep.
I love this. I love the show.
I'm loving all of these, but I'm like, I have no idea.
This is how it was last round. Oh,
I do not
All right.
feel like a genius in this game.
Number 4. Number 4. Earth task.
But
Got it. Meg, you go for it.
Planet Unknown?
Nope. Chat's got it.
is it Buzz
Gaia-
Terraforming Mars? Oh,
Gaia
Gaia Project. Project.
Ah.
Good job, chat.
All right, number 5. Tuber.
Buzz.
Yeah.
Root.
Yep.
A tuber's the root.
I think you guys are tied now at 6.
What is a tuber?
A kind of
tuber is
root.
a type. It's like the little things that grow on your potatoes and stuff like that. It's a tuber. It's so a tuber is a root, but not all roots are tubers. It's under the umbrella.
Game. I love this. I love the
I'm glad you're
variety.
good. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. This one is all one word. It's intentional.
I understand.
Perpetual Valley.
Buzz.
Yeah.
Descent.
Nope.
It's a good one though.
Chat got it. Everdell.
Ah. Okay.
So okay. So
Everdell.
chat's up to 4. I think it's
Everdell.
6-4 now. I think. Okay.
Chat's
number
gonna
7. Number 7. Big crazy houses.
Why am I so bad at this?
This one is I will give you guys, this is not exact word for word. Chat's got it.
Oh,
Mansions
Buzz?
of Madness.
Oh,
Oh.
I was just gonna say that.
Oh. Nice. Nice.
Okay.
6-5.
6-5.
It's a close game.
Close. They're getting close.
Uh,
Okay. Number 8. Robots against henchmen.
Buzz.
Meg?
Max versus Minions.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Yes,
nice.
ma'am.
Good job. I had nothing. 7-6-5.
I got 1.
But you ensure that chat can't get ahead of you this round. That's the difference.
Yep. Number 9. Blue.
Buzz.
Yes.
Azul.
Yes.
And Meg's back in the game. Now
That's a
6-5
reboot. I'm
now.
gonna lie now.
All right, and chat was close behind you. All right, I'm pretty proud of 10. More than 4 groups.
Buzz. No.
Meg?
I was gonna say Connect 4. That doesn't
Nope.
even. Oh, Buzz. Buzz.
Yes, Meg.
5 tribes.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Wait, does that mean Meg even pulled further ahead? What's the score now?
She's at 9. It's 9-6-5.
Oh, so she maintained the exact
Oh.
same lead, and then chat caught up.
She got the last 3 in a row.
So chat got 4, and then we each got 3. So you actually, I didn't even pull ahead of you this round. It's 9-6-5.
Yep, 9-6-5. All right.
Okay.
Round 3. Crappy call-outs of cover art. I tried to do alliteration for all the categories.
I don't know what this is going to be.
This is crappy call-outs of cover art.
Okay.
1 is Matt Damon planting a lot of potatoes.
Buzz.
Buzz.
Meg?
Terraforming Mars.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was going to be on Mars.
They're planting plants. They're physically planting
Gotcha.
stuff on the Terraforming Mars cover.
Obviously, if you enjoyed the game, you would know.
I don't like Terraforming Mars at all. It's not that great.
Number 2. In chat, I'm trusting you guys on the keeping up with score. Number 2. Let's be honest, it's definitely a xenomorph.
Buzz.
Meg?
Was it Nemesis?
It is Nemesis, yeah.
I've never even played Nemesis. I don't even know. I was like, I bet it's this. I don't even know what the cover looks like.
Meg killing it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 3. An awkward couple holding grapes.
Buzz.
Buzz.
Meg?
It's the Stonemaier. Give me a second.
How long does she have?
I don't know why I
4,
can't think of the name of it. It's not Vineyards.
3,
Stop.
2,
No, don't count down.
1 goes to Alex.
Buzz. Viticulture.
Viticulture.
I feel bad. I feel
I
bad.
couldn't think of it.
Chat, give both you and Alex points for viticulture.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have to wait. As soon as I was buzzing, I was right there.
Yeah. That's why I wanted you to get points too.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4. Avengers Assemble moment without 10 years of cinematic build-up.
Buzz.
Yep.
Marvel Champions.
Yep. Number 5. That one noisy scene from The Hobbit with the dragon.
Buzz.
Yep.
Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth.
Nope.
Buzz?
Meg?
Role Player Adventures?
Nope.
Chat's got it?
Chat got it. Clank.
Ah! Okay, cool.
Mm.
Number 6. And you get no one can complain about my hints because they're all supposed to be bad. Number 6 is one that I'm also proud of. A baker's half dozen buildings.
Buzz.
Alex?
Acquire?
Nope.
Oh! Oh! When can I buzz again?
You can buzz now if you want.
Buzz.
Yeah,
I mean,
go for it.
Buzz.
Yeah.
7 Wonders.
yes.
It's a terrible clue. I love it.
I was like, a baker's dozen is 13. I was like,
Technically,
I
it's
guess
6 and
a
a half.
half dozen is going to be
6.5.
So, okay. Number 7. The characters from that show featured on that one Portlandia sketch.
I've watched Portlandia. One of the best shows ever, by the way. What are the hippiest characters? I shouldn't be giving big hints. What are
Yeah,
the-
got it.
What is it?
Battlestar Galactica.
Oh,
They-
I forgot that
had a
they're in
huge
that. I forgot that
BSG
they're in that.
episode. They had a huge BSG episode.
I'm trying to
yeah.
think of hippies.
Good job, Patrick. Good job, Patrick. Put a bird on it. Okay, number 8. You're about to get rammed by a longship.
Buzz.
Buzz?
Think that was Alex?
Raiders of the North Sea.
Yes.
Mhm.
I think he started saying it minimally first.
He's just louder than me.
He's catching up. It's like 10-9-8 right now.
I think she's ahead, but I think it's close.
It's 10-9-8 between all of you guys. Okay, there's only 2 questions left. So
So I have to get both to get ahead, and if Meg
both
gets
to get
one,
ahead.
it's over.
Meg has to get 1 to win, and then Chat has to get 2 to tie for the win. Number 9.
Wait, how's that possible? How do you have
To
10, 9,
tie for-
8 if there's 30 points to be given?
Oh, then there's someone's missing a point. Then
It's me.
You counting
Yeah.
your questions?
Yeah, John. Everyone's
going
saying it's
through
11,
everything.
9, 8.
I'd believe it, honestly. I mean, you got a bunch early on. I don't know exactly where it
Okay,
ended
well, Alex could tie it, at which point I would have to. I can on Audible come up with a tiebreaker.
Well, let me tie it first. I don't think we have to worry
Yeah,
about
sure,
this.
sure.
We'll share
Number-
the win.
Number 9. Took me way too long to realize the title was a clever way of expressing feline love.
Buzz.
Meg?
I love cats.
Yep.
And the win is cemented.
Number 10.
It took me way too long, too, by the way.
Number 10. If you visited Jurassic Park while tripping on acid.
Buzz.
Meg?
Dinosaur Island.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or maybe World.
No,
But
Island.
No,
Island.
it's Dinosaur
Island. It's
Yeah.
Island.
It-
If you said Dinosaur
Little
World and he
Liquid.
gave you the points, I would challenge it.
Yeah.
Tripping acid.
I thought specifically of Totally.
What'd you
Liquid.
guys
That
think?
cover is so
What
good.
do you guys think?
That was
It
wonderful.
was fun.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
The synonym thing, like, it was breaking my, like, my brain was like, I had to reboot. I was like, what
you
is?
came back at the end. You came back at the end.
Oh my gosh.
They're so clever.
Did Jason Miller just realize that's I Love Cats?
Yeah, yeah. He said I was today years old. I
Because-
saw that too.
Yeah. Because
Took
that
me way too long.
I only realized it down the road and I was like, Isle of Cats, I love cats. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Oh wow. Good game, Meg. Good game, Meg.
Thanks.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
That's it. I've exhausted my coolness for the day.
30 questions. That's excellent. I can't wait to see what next week happens. I already have, by the way. I think I mentioned this. I had an idea for my next quiz one. I don't think it's gonna be as fun as this, but I like what I did with it, and I'm like halfway through the questions. But anyways, we'll figure it out. We're gonna go through it all. Those. My God, Tuber, Blue. You had some really solid synonyms. I like that a lot. The whole thing. All right. With that,
I had fun making it.
We are going to go ahead and jump into our Patreon sponsored segment. By Patreon sponsored, I mean every month the Patreons get to choose a bunch of topics they would like to see us dive into on the weekly live, and this particular topic is the games I got rid of or just don't play because I love them, but others don't. Basically, you love a game, you want to play it, and then you're either getting rid of it or you don't play it because your other game groups, the other people in your game group don't love it. For the record, all solo games are disqualified from this conversation because that would be weird. Yeah. But anyways, I was saying, if you got rid of a solo game because those people...
I get myself to play it.
Devin
I
won't
don't
play
know
with
why.
me. Shut up, Devin.
Just can't get it to the table.
So I have so many of these in theory, but I couldn't actually remember most. Like over the years, I've gotten rid of games that others just didn't want to play with me. But I can't remember half of them. I think I'm only down to 4 that I could think of for today's episode. I'm sure there's a whole lot more. But I'll start off with the most recent one, which anyone who watches the show probably knows about. Anyone who watches my stuff on a regular basis probably knows about because I've talked about it a lot. But Merchant's Cove. Merchant's Cove is a game that I really enjoyed the asymmetric puzzle of just how you're approaching the game. And I do think it's very much a kind of 1 or 2 shots per character kind of thing. I don't think the characters have a ton of depth. I think it's from Final Fantasy games. I think it has a lot of fun to the asymmetry of how Final Frontier games. I knew it sounded wrong, but I couldn't remember what it was. But Final Frontier games.
To even lead into the topic and really reinforce it, while you're even talking about Merchant's Cove, I'm going to leave and go pee.
I love it. But yeah, what's it called? So it's one that I enjoy the puzzle of Merchant's Cove in the sense that you are trying to craft these potions and you're trying to ultimately sell them to these people, but everyone has a different way of crafting their goods in the game. And so the puzzle is to figure out the asymmetry of your character as you approach the game, and then kind of once you do, I think the game's done. I don't think it's that rewarding to engage with any individual character, but there are like 8 different characters to engage with, which even if you would play each one twice, that's like 16 plays. And so my game plan was to play through all the characters at least once, and then get rid of it. But the only problem is, no one in my game group was very enthused with it. There were various degrees of how much people enjoyed and appreciated it, and everyone was fine with it, don't get me wrong, but I do like to give my group the option of, hey, here are like 5 games, which one do you want to pick? And Merchant's Cove just was never really picked. And so it ultimately became a game that, for me, I wanted to kind of explore it more, but I couldn't because nobody was choosing it, and at a certain point I have to give up and decide other games are going to get played. Now, I will say for the record, some people have said that it has a good solo mode. I briefly tried dabbling in it, and for me it didn't pull me in quite as much, the solo mode, so like ultimately I didn't keep it for the solo, and it didn't last in the day. But I like Merchant's Cove, and it's the kind of game that, it's one of those like convention games that I mentally say, hey, I'll play it at a convention one day. It's never gonna happen. But like, hypothetically, I would be down to play this and tons of other conventions, and I like it. My group did not.
Yeah, I'm the opposite, where my group likes it and I don't really enjoy it, so I still have it. You should just come play with them.
Yeah, your group's awesome. I like them. With Devin taking his shirt back?
Yeah.
And Meg, to you.
So this one, you did a more recent one. I'm gonna go way back and do one of the first ones. But this is one that I can't even really talk that much on the mechanics because this was like 2012. But one of the first games I got that I was really excited about that ended up never getting played was Seasons. I was really interested in it. I was really interested in the drafting mechanic and the season part of it. And I haven't played it in like 10 years because no one wants to play it. Which I know you want to play it.
I played
Which
it for
game?
the first time. Seasons.
It's
Seasons.
old.
It's old school. I played it for the first time in like 8 years this week with Chris George on Board Game Arena.
Ooh.
Do you know who apparently is really good at Seasons in his opinion?
Chris George?
Chris George.
Just like he was at Splendor.
John Trip, once upon a time, Seasons was my favorite game, to the point that I actually made it my password for like a bunch of things for a period. In fact, there's one bank account that I don't use, but I still have an account there.
You're so adorable. I love that board games even invade your password.
It was temporary. It was very temporary. I was like, I can't just have one word as all my passwords. So it was very temporary. But like Seasons was the password to a few things because I was like, I fell in love with it.
His new password is Terraforming Mars.
My new password is Terraforming Mars. Absolutely. But yeah, Seasons I did like a lot. I ultimately did get rid of it because I found the crystal conversion to be not a ton of fun, but I love the drafting and the cards and had a lot of fun with it. I'm happy to play it with you whenever you want.
Yeah.
John Trip, yes, by the way, that's not even a joke. It was both my password and it was the answer to the 5 mandatory questions they gave me. So in this particular account, my mother's maiden name is Seasons.
Amazing.
Also, so is the name of my first pet and the street I grew up on.
That's amazing.
It's not Seasons 1 now. Oh, can I do the bit? Can I do the bit?
Are you talking
No.
about the password bit?
The password bit. I love the password bit. Oh my gosh. Have you seen this bit, Mac? Have I told you this one?
Maybe.
I think he showed it.
Is it all one word, lowercase?
I love no, not that. That's my Wi-Fi password. There's a comedian who has a whole bit. He's like, once upon a time. I'm gonna do the bit. I'm sorry, I like it too much.
Oh
Once
my gosh.
It's John
You should credit
McIntyre.
the comedian.
John
Okay.
McIntyre. He's amazing. Michael McIntyre. Michael McIntyre. I don't know if I said John. Michael McIntyre is
John's
hilariously
his brother.
funny. And basically, he's Johnson's brother. Michael McIntyre walks into this auditorium and he's like, once upon a time, the internets were invented. And then everyone needed a password. To keep their secret bit safe from everyone else. Everyone needed their own password, their own little thing, their own special byte. And they all came up. Everyone came up with their own little word. And it was their special word. This special word, they kept it secret, they kept it safe. They didn't tell anyone it was their word. It was special. And then one day you went into your account and you went into your site and you entered your password and the internet said, no, it's too weak. Your special word is weak. He's like, what? This is my special word. It is not weak. And they're like, you must capitalize one of the letters of your special word. The entire internet paused for a half beat of a second before capitalizing the first letter of their special word. And everything was all good in the world again. Everything was all amazing. And so now the people went to the internet and they had their special word. It was no longer too weak. They entered the special word. They capitalized the first letter. And then a few months later, the internet was like, no, it is still too weak. You must now add a number to your special word. And the entire internet breathed a collective half sigh before everyone promptly added the number 1 to the end of their special word. And everything was okay again for several years as time went by, as everything went on, and everyone had their special words, capitalized first letter, a 1 at the end of it, and everything was okay, and then the internets were like, no! It is still too weak! You must now add a special symbol to your special word. And they showed you a whole array of special symbols, and these special symbols were like, ooh, that's lovely, what's that one? I've never seen that one before, and then promptly everyone decided to add an exclamation point to the end of their special word. And it is right now in this moment in the Orpheum Theater that everyone is sitting there thinking, I better go home and change my password. I'm sorry. I love that bit. It is so dead on because half my passwords in existence have been capital, whatever the word is, 1 exclamation mark, ta-da. Sorry. Go back to what
I
you're saying.
have heard that. That's why I was laughing about it.
I love it.
Because you showed me it.
Anyways,
I
go
don't
ahead.
think I was talking.
Oh, up to you. Yeah, roll on the right. And change. I'm telling you straight up, it's bad. Devin, your choice. Your choice.
I have not gotten rid of this game, but it is still one that is hard to table. And it is hard enough to table that I got rid of all of the extra stuff that I bought for it, and that is Black Rose Wars. I really like Black Rose Wars. I think it's a fantastic game. I think it does suffer from the lack of player aids and a more streamlined teach. It is a little bit of a bear to get to the table and have people who are not familiar with it. However, it is one of my favorite skirmish, like point objective based scoring games out there. I had an absolute blast with it. There were just like when I played with Alex the last time we had a 4-player session, there were just some moments where multiple times across the game where it was like such a exciting sequence where everybody around the table was like enthused about what was happening, and I really enjoyed it. And so
Those are the best moments.
Yeah, I made the mistake of like liking it enough that I was like, I'm gonna go on eBay and buy the Seder box, which has got 8,000 pounds of content for it. And then I did that, and I was like, this actually makes me less likely to play the game because it's so overwhelming. So I eventually changed out all the cards that were reprinted in the Seder box and then sold the rest of the Seder box that had the expansion content away. And I still have it, and I'm happy about that decision. It's made it to where every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I can table that. That's not a beast because it doesn't have like a cargo container of extra stuff. And so I have a little bit of worry about that with DEI because I'm wanting to get everything, and I'm like, I want all these extra things, and I'm like, no, I liked what I played. I just need to play that. And so
for context, I've read the expansion rules to 2 of the DEI expansions, and I'm not worried about that yet. I can't say it will or won't be. I think the nature of a Black Rose Wars is, first of all, it's a beast to get into to start off with. And then from there, the amount of content is just overwhelming. Like, it's not like DEI is like a few boxes, well managed, each in their own thing. And they're like, here's this giant box full of extra stuff. In addition to the 4 expansion boxes you already have, there is a point and a way that things add too much. And it depends on how you integrate those things. Like, Massive Darkness from Command has a ton of stuff, but a lot of it is just swapping in characters in a way that if you know the game, it's very easy. But yeah, I think every game is situational, but Black Rose Wars is one of the few times where I'm like, it was too much. It was just too much.
Yeah. So Black Rose Wars, I love it. I would love to play it more frequently, and I've kept it, but it's one that I haven't been able to get to the table with anyone since.
And my second one, and from my 4 games I selected, 2 of them I still own, and 2 of them I don't. My second one is one that I do own, and it's one that it's not that it's impossible to get to the table, it's that my core game group, the main people, don't love it, and some of the peripherals do. So I still have it because it does see the table a little bit, but a little bit is the key word. It's probably been a year and a half since I played it, and that's Endeavor Age of Sail. I like Endeavor Age of Sail a lot. Now, Endeavor Deep Sea is the new one coming out. I like that even more. It's a different conversation. I plan on secretly introducing it to all the people who don't like Endeavor and not telling them it's the same game. So we'll see what happens. But Endeavor Age of Sail is one that I really enjoyed. The simple putting down tokens as you on the map as you explore it, building up your tableau. I enjoyed the overall puzzle, and for some reason it just didn't land with my core game group. The 2 main people who are around me, I have my game group is like primarily like 2 main people, and then a bunch of peripherals. And the 2 main ones just bounced off it. They were like, it's okay. It's not my jam. And so now I just have to rely on everyone else, which means it's been played like 1 time in the past 2 years, I think. And I like it. I keep it because I still want to play it, and I still have the hypothetical chance it gets played, because there are people who like it, just not the core. And so it's one that doesn't see play enough. I am very intrigued by Endeavor Age of Sail. In terms of Endeavor Deep Sea, I want to play that one more. And I think they have a solo mode as well, which I plan on exploring to see if I like it. But it's, I still like that one a lot, and because it has the hypothetical possibility of being played, it's sticking around, even though it is very, very sad that it's not being played more.
Yeah, I haven't gotten rid of any of mine. Any of the games I talk about, especially if it's one that I like and I just can't get a table, and I did not get rid of it.
You don't get rid of games
I
you
don't
like, Meg.
want. Yeah.
There we go.
My next one is a game that I think I over asked for it for so long that no one will play it with me anymore. Is Small World. Small World is one of the games that I went like deep in. I got all the expansions. I loved the like mini expansion packs that you could grab, and I went so deep with it for so long that no one will ever. I asked for it like on my birthday and stuff, and no one ever wants to play Small World. I mean, so word to the wise, if you love a game, don't ask people to play it every time they come over.
For your birthday, I would play Small World.
Okay.
Like, that's a birthday request. It's not that bad a game.
Yeah. Well, I asked my sister too, which like she doesn't game much in general.
Yeah. I like Small World. I enjoy it. It's one that I'd happily play it. It's not one I need to play. I've also played the app even, and it's pretty fun there. It has a good push to it. You know there's an app?
No.
Oh
no.
I will no longer like Small World in a few months. But yeah, Small World has both. I believe it has. I'm pretty sure I have it on Steam. Let me double check. I think I have Steam. There is an app, and I think I have it on Steam as well. Let me go ahead and find it. Small World. Yep, I have Small World on Steam. Apparently, I know what I'm doing this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I like Small World. It doesn't give me the same vibe it used to when I first got it, but I like it.
Nice.
So that was my next one.
My second one is coincidentally also a Burnt Island Games title, and it is one that I was so excited that I finally had people ask me to play, and then we didn't, and that is In Too Deep. So
what monsters?
I have played
Monster, singular.
Endeavor Deep Sea, and I really, really like it. I've played in the Hall of the Mountain King and Fall of the Mountain King. I gifted those away to a subscriber in actually a live stream on Alex's channel when he was asleep and I was downstairs. So I gifted them away because they were really excited about them. And I have kept In Too Deep. It's my favorite of them. I love the theme. I love like the kind of like cyberpunk jacking into people's head and stuff like that. I just absolutely adore In Too Deep. I really like the spatial puzzler. I'm not normally someone who thinks that I would like a pick up and deliver, but because the spatial puzzle is so satisfying to me across those like divisions of the city that are set up there, it's definitely one that I love, but it's hard to table because it's a little bit of a it's a nuanced teach. It's got very specific scoring criteria. And if I teach it to people like Alex and Meg, who even on the first teach desperately want to know how scoring works because they're going to plan their strategy on it, it's tough because there's a lot of explaining to do because it scores in a very nuanced way. If you teach it to someone who's just like, they're like, oh yeah, sure, well, I don't mind how the next 90 minutes go, regardless of whether I win or lose, then it's easier because I'm like, ignore the scoring, just learn how the spatial puzzle. So it's like, it's you almost need to play a game to realize what you need to do. And that's a tough ask for a 90 to 120 hour game.
Yeah, that's one of those games. Like, I plan on doing a video at some point on, I can't remember the title of it, but something along the lines of the hype left, basically. There are like games over time where I was really excited at a point in time and that just didn't work for whatever reason. And In Too Deep is one of those for me, and a big part of it is the scoring. The core puzzle is so clever and so much fun, but it almost feels like the core puzzle is disconnected from the rest of the game in a way that is rewarding but hard to teach, and so I would love to play it. I was very sad when someone who won't be named was very tired and didn't want to play In Too Deep that time. I was excited to play it because I like the game, but it's just in a hard game. It's not even a question of my game group not liking it, but it's more a question of like, it's just hard to table it. So I eventually I got rid of it because I just didn't want to teach it to people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
My next one is another one that I still have, and it's the second one I still have, and I really like it a lot, to the point that I'm debating looking into the solo mode, because I've heard it's a good solo mode, and I want to play it, but again, those same people in my game group, they're the worst, they don't like it either, but it's Glenmore. Glenmore, specifically 2nd edition, I think is a charming, wonderful game. It has that aspect of whoever's last gets to take things, so it's a constant push of, do you want the tile that's right for your tableau, or do you want to potentially, get more tiles, because it's always a trade-off of what you do. And then whether you're choosing people to get their abilities, or whether you're choosing tiles to put into your board and generate resources, and then you're converting those resources in, I think it's so much fun, and there's like 8 different modules to mix in, which I've read the rules for like 4 of them, but I haven't been able to play them because nobody wants to play the game with me. I think Glenmore plays in like 60 to 90 minutes, and is just a ton of fun. Like, Glenmore and Endeavor, those are 2 games that I want to play them. And the good news is at least Glenmore plays well at 2. Endeavor, you kind of need more, I think. But Glenmore plays well at 2. Like, I
want to try that one.
Well, next time you're here, we'll play it, because I want to play Glenmore. Add it to the list, the very long list. But yeah, Glenmore, it's another one. I'm very, very sad about it. It's sticking around, though. It is not going anywhere, at least not yet. I have the expansion. I haven't even read the expansion because I haven't played the modules yet. Someday.
I don't really have many more. I was trying to think before the stream when I went through my room. And I think a lot of games don't get played because of how long they are, but not necessarily because people don't want to play them with me. It's more like, we only have so much time to play things.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't think I have many more that like I would ask for that people say no to.
That's fair.
We can skip over to Devin. I have one more.
Mine is probably a combination of just like long ass 4X space games. Like, you could lump Forbidden Stars, Twilight Imperium, Star Wars Rebellion, Eclipse, Zaya. I have a bunch of like heavy space games that I would love to play more often, and that just like the people. Like, it's not a game. Those are not games that Amber would be enthused by. And
I've had so much trouble getting Sun Conflict Uprising to the table.
I know it was a good game if we're referencing it later. So I would say collectively those are like a whole category for me of games that are just incredible. But I mean, like Meg, I do not want to get rid of them. I like
Right.
to me, it's one of those things where even if I play a game once a year or once every 2 years, the amount of enjoyment I have from it justifies the space that it holds. So, yeah.
Games
Yeah.
are good.
My last one, and this
Those
is
are
old
good.
school. Anyone who even knows this exists, I'm already proud of you. It's called The Walled City, Londonderry, and Borderlands. Okay? Exactly. The Walled City, Londonderry, and Borderlands. Art by Joshua Capel from Into Deep Burnt Island Games. And I can't remember who designed it. It wasn't... I know Daryl Andrews had something to do with it. Maybe it was his friend or he developed it. I don't know. But it's The Walled
Errol
City.
Andrews designed it
Did he?
along with Steven Sauer, and then
Interesting.
Josh Capel from Burnt Island Games did the art.
Did you hear me say that a second ago? Because you said that as if you didn't.
I was focused on Googling, and so I didn't
Wow.
process.
Way to call him out. Like he didn't hear me say
I was
that.
like, because he just announced it, like Josh Capel, who we just talked about. I'm like, I literally just said that. But yeah, the Walled City. Yeah, so Daryl Andrews did design it. Wow, I think this is one of his first games. It was from Mercury Games, which is a publisher that went out
Yeah.
of business, I believe.
And art by Josh Capel.
Yeah. And this one is a game that I played a very long time ago. In fact, once upon a time, it was the first game I gave it like a 10 to. This was early in gaming. I don't think it would get a 10 nowadays, but it's like much earlier on, like way back. And I really liked the system. It had 14 actions across the whole game. And in those 14
6.7.
actions, yeah, it's not well weighted. Again, I'm the
Is
exception
this like a Carson City for you? Where
It
you're
is
like, oh,
absolutely
it's so
Carson
much
City.
better.
here. No, it's definitely better than a 6.7. I don't think I'd give it a 5. Like, I give it a 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10 when I first got into gaming. I think now would probably be a 4 out of 5, like so an 8. It's definitely higher than what I'd want. John Tripp. I love
John Tripp. And dang it, I was gonna try to highlight it before you did.
But anyways, it gave you these 14 actions, and they're all about this area control puzzle of where you put these people on the walls and the board. And I thought it was brilliant, like absolutely brilliant. And then people I played it with were like, "Hey, it's good," but no one actually wanted to play it.
Chris in chat says it reminds him of Caesar. Does it remind?
It doesn't. As I was to say, it reminded me. So when I finally got rid of it, is I played it with one person who basically said, "This is fun. I'd always rather play El Grande." And El Grande is an older title, and I picked it up because of that. And I played El Grande, and I was like, I hear that. And so I finally, like, Walled City was actually one of the first games I held on to, despite the fact that no one would play with me. I was like, I like this game too much, I want to keep it. But then once I got El Grande, combined with the fact that no one was playing Walled City, I did eventually get rid of it. And I was talking to Daryl Andrews, like, one time, years later, and I mentioned that to him. I was like, oh, I love the game, but El Grande replaced it. He's like, I'm not even offended. My main motivation for designing it was El Grande. And I was like, oh, well, that's fine. That's good. But yeah, El Grande is fantastic. Walled City is great. Would happily play it, but I do prefer El Grande. I think it's more elegant. Yeah. That's my last one. Old school game.
Gotcha.
And with that, we are going to go ahead and wrap up your weekly live. We will be possibly back next week. I think I'm offline Wednesday and Thursday next week. So we could do it again Tuesday.
Mayhaps.
I'm online Tuesday, so we could do it again. We're going to be next week again Tuesday, and then back to our usual Wednesday schedule. But this has been your weekly live with a show sponsored by Devin. Meg taking away the win this time. Audience with a close third over here. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you for sticking around and for being here. Appreciate all of you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Love you
Thanks for
guys.
watching.